where do you put Alabama without Saban on the college football food chain?
To me, they're like Auburn. You know,
wow.
I just think without a superstar coach, without a guy who's won championships. I mean, first
Don't
of all,
clip this. I'm not in the show anymore.
Yes. This is the man. This is you said this on Wide Right, your Miami podcast. Ari's ducking out of his screen.
I feel like Michael Myers.
If Ari's running away from a take, Manny, you've gone too far.
I feel like Michael Myers, who was on the telethon standing next to Kanye 15 years ago on that one. They're Auburn?
Come on, Manny.
Auburn.
Manny.
Their ceiling is high. Auburn's ceiling is high. Alabama could be a championship program without Saban.
Yeah.
But
it's about basement. It's not ceiling. What's the basement?
The basement. Well, they could slip to what Auburn did the last couple.
They were
seasons.
6-5 in Saban's first year, right? So
are you going to disagree with me that Alabama? You can't see Alabama having let's say with all the players they've lost, and let's say DeBoer goes in there, it's a bad fit. You don't think they could have an Auburn type season next year?
No. I think that I'm trying to think more of a macro level here, not a micro. Like, could Alabama have a losing season one year? Sure, it happens to everybody. I'm talking about program basement based on how we feel of the recruiting, the reputation, the administration, the expectation. Like the basement of Alabama's program, they could not, I don't think it's possible. And if it is, then Lord help DeBoer. There's no way that I think that Alabama's recruiting could take the lull of a multi-year recruiting situation that Auburn had under Harsin. Like, I think that there is a limit to how low it could go. Like, Auburn got to a point where they weren't even involved with top 100 players. Like, I don't think that that's possible. If that is possible, then that would be like me taking a brand new Ferrari and like rolling it off the side of a cliff. Like, I just don't know.
It's happened. There's been hires that just don't work. And it's happened at other places. It's happened at Texas.
The question to me is,
but what is Alabama in terms of?
Let me say this. Sorry. I mean, everyone knows the Alabama history. They can look it up. I grew up a diehard Alabama fan in high school as a kid. My dad went to school there. I was probably the biggest Alabama fan in New Jersey. I'm very familiar with the history of the program. The question to me is, post-Bear, and it's a different era, but post-Bear Bryant, everyone knows the coaches they cycled through, Mike DuBose, Ray Perkins. They all struggled except for Gene Stallings, who had one breakout year. Has Saban elevated the program to a different stratosphere now where the basement is so much, where the floor is so much higher than it was post-Bear Bryant? That's the question to me.
That's a good point. Here's how you have to think about it. Remove
every going to tell us how we have to think, Manny.
No, this is, I think, a good way to, it's a good, shut up, Mitch, and let me talk about this. Remove every coach from where they are right now and just strip it so it's program only.
Mm-hmm.
What are the top 10 jobs in America?
We've done this, right?
Like with Alabama, Alabama's got to be, was it 3 or 4 or 5 on that list at the very least? Like Auburn, I don't think is in the top 10. Like that to me is the discussion here. Like that, I don't know. You guys could disagree, but I think Georgia, Texas, and Ohio State are definitively better jobs if you remove the coach. Based on history, fan buy-in, location, talent, all that stuff. I think you could even swap out Ohio State and Alabama if you want to, but Ohio State is the main fixture of the North and a huge a huge piece of the college football brand when it comes to viewership and stuff. Like, I think that Ohio State is what it is. But even if you flip out 4 and 3, say the top 4, they're all in there. Then it gets interesting. So the question is, how much does the job help the coach in their pursuit to recruit a certain way? Like that to me is the whole thing. Like DeBoer parlayed his success in 2 years at Washington into one of the 5 best jobs in college football. And is Alabama actually a top 5 job? Or did Nick Saban make us think it was? That is the thing. And if you're saying they're on par with Auburn, then Manny is saying that without Saban, Alabama is not as good of a job as we perceived it to be with his presence, right?
I'm disagreeing with Manny. Yeah, I'm disagreeing with Manny to the extent there. But I think it's an unanswerable question, Ari. We will find out over the next 10 years If they cycle through 3 coaches, now the time is different and the patience is different than it was 20 years ago post Bear Bryant. We'll see what happens.